I had an idea for a new project, and of course, I couldn't just ignore it. I had to build it. The ending is not so great, but oh well, at least it gave a good story. So one day, I was at the office and someone close to me said, "Oh, I think someone sent a screenshot of this error. I wish I could search on images." At that moment, all alerts in my head started buzzing. That's an amazing idea. I wrote it down immediately and started thinking about how I could solve that problem. But wait, before I continue, what are you waiting to subscribe? Okay, let's continue now. In this case, since it was a problem that could result in a business idea, I didn't want to build it all by myself. So I decided to find a friend to help me out. So the first step was, let's build a team. Artur is also a software engineer like myself. He is super skilled and also likes to have side projects. So perfect. With the team established and a vague idea of the problem, it was time for step number 2, the definition of the problem. And to be honest, we didn't spend much time in this step, and we'll see why later in the video. We wanted to start thinking about the solution as soon as possible. Most of the definition was done during step number 3, the implementation of the solution. We decided that the best way to do it was to create a Slack command. Imagine that you can write /search image followed by the phrase you want to search in your chat of choice, like for example Slack, Discord, Microsoft Teams, Telegram or WhatsApp, and the bot will give you some images that match your phrase. So now let's talk about the actual architecture of the solution. The Slack bot is an instance developed in Python and hosted on AWS. When you add the bot to a conversation, it keeps waiting for new images to be posted. When it happens, we apply an image-to-text machine learning model to extract the text from the image, and we store that information in a database. And finally, when a user inserts a command, we apply an algorithm that calculates a similarity between the phrase and all the images and return an ordered list of all the most relevant images. When you start working on your projects, it's easy to have millions of ideas to improve them. However, it's super important to keep a good distance between features that are nice to have and those that are essential. Step number 4. Define what is part of the MVP and what are feature add-ons. MVP stands for Minimal Viable Product, the least amount of features your product needs to work. Over the 2 months that Artur and I were developing this, we came up with countless ideas to improve our bot, from improving the UI and user experience to allowing the collection of previous images before the bot was installed. All of these ideas were not essential for testing our products. In our case, a simple solution like the one we presented in step number 3 was enough for our MVP. Step number 5 and the last one. Show your product, make demos and gather feedback. And here, do anything to get turned to the worse. We started doing some demos, and the first ones went great. We got super useful feedback, we gathered ideas from other use cases, and one day everything changed. While we were doing a demo with a product designer, together on a call, me, Artur and Andre, we decided to understand exactly how the normal search on Slack works. The color of buttons, pop-ups, everything. We searched for KPIs on the company's Slack, and we saw dozens of files where the word KPI was in. Files like PDFs, PowerPoints, images, everything. We were so shocked, no one knew it was possible to search like that. Then we decided to Google if this is a feature that Slack promotes, and by some misfortune we missed it. But no, we didn't find any information about it. We were devastated. We spent so many hours working on a problem that was already solved. After a few days, we talked again. We brainstormed to see if the technology we had created made sense to apply in another context or another platform, like Microsoft Teams. We concluded that the best was to kill the project, learn from the mistakes and take advantage of the incredible team we had created. A bonus for those still watching the video up to this point. The lessons we can take from this. First, and in my opinion the most important, don't start a project by the end. We engineers love to get down to business and start building, but there are a lot of steps before that must be followed carefully to avoid the mistakes we made. Secondly, find the right mentors to guide you and give the right feedback at the right time. Third, gather as much feedback as possible and as early as possible. Talk to all kinds of people from different areas and take advantage of your network. This way, we'll be achieving 2 things at the same time. We'll be receiving a lot of feedback for feature improvements and we'll discover new use cases that you never thought before. Do you have any other lessons from your projects?